In this video we're going to be talking about one of the most misunderstood running shoes of the year, the Kinvara Pro. I'm going to be taking them out for a 16-mile long run, and then I'm going to explain to you at the end that if you are a stability shoe wearer, this is the race day shoe for you. And welcome to Fordy Runs. And if you're new around here, my name is Chris Ford and I like running shoes a lot. Okay, so if you've not seen it already, we've done a review of the Kinvara Pro. We spoke about all the things I like and things I didn't like about the shoe. And one of the biggest overriding sort of takeaways from that video, from that review, is that I think this shoe is the carbon plated race day shoe for anybody who is a bit of a stability shoe wearer. Now, this is not a stability shoe, but what I think Saucony have done here is create a shoe that will work for you if you do need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of stability. Now, like I said at the start, I've taken this shoe today out for a 16-mile long run. And in that 16-mile long run, I was thinking about the shoe for everybody who may be thinking about marathon training or half marathon training and looking for that race day shoe. And I was putting the shoe through its paces deliberately for you guys to find out what it's like, you know, for marathon training, but also into race day. So look, let's talk quickly about the stats and features. Let's quickly touch on that, and then I'm going to come on to my run, how it felt, and why I still think this is the #1 shoe if you're marathon training and you need a little bit of guidance. Okay, so this shoe has the sort of greatest hits from Saucony. We've got the Power Run midsole here, which actually goes round to the outsole. We've then got the Power Run PB, which comes over from the Endorphin line, and then inside the sock liner we've got a nice cushioned Power Run Plus sock liner. So that insole adds the comfort. The shoe fits true to size. It's got a nice wide toe box with a lot of height in it as well, so there's plenty of room in there, and I think it will work for most people's feet. We've got enough comfort around the heel area. There's plenty of padding, but it's not over the top. It doesn't feel like a Triumph, so it's not over the top. We've got a gusseted tongue, so we've got a nice lockdown. Laces are traditional. It is heavy. It's 10.7 ounces, which I think is on the heavy side for a race day shoe, but bear with me. We've got a 3/4 length teardrop shaped carbon plate that runs through the shoe. We've got speed roll technology, which is helping you promote that roll through the shoe. The stack height is about 40 mil, I think, if I remember rightly, in it. And the shoe, is £200, which is a lot of money. But here's the thing. What you've got here is a shoe like the Super Blast from Asics, that if you need a stability, guidance-ish kind of shoe for race day or marathon training that takes you into race day, this is the shoe for you. So this shoe is stable, right? I ran today on part trail, part road, a little bit of grass. I had some cambers, I had some elevation, I had a bit of everything on that 16-mile run today. And the run was split into 3-mile loops. I was running 3 miles easy, which for me at the moment is 9-minute miles. And then I was running 3 miles at goal pace, which was 8-minute miles. And the shoe covered that ground perfectly. At 9-minute miles, the shoe felt comfortable with the Power Run Plus sock liner. I felt in control in those paces at 9-minute miles. It felt stable. It's particularly on the cambered surfaces that I was running on and the sort of lumps and bumps down the river section that we did. The shoe was brilliant down there. Going up and down some of the elevation, they weren't massive hills, but there was a little bit of elevation. And the turns, the shoe felt very stable at those lower paces. I think we went out at one point to about 9:45, maybe even 10-minute miles as well, and the shoe felt great. The outsole was brilliant in terms of traction. We had, like I said, mixed terrain, and it handled that absolutely fine. Some of that gravelly surface, some of the tarmac was fine. On the roads it felt fine. Had no issues whatsoever with the traction of the shoe. The breathability was fine. It was a warm day today, and it was very, very breathable. I noticed the air coming through. My feet didn't overheat, but it was fine. Absolutely fine. I had no issues with the lockdown with this shoe. I laced it up and off I went. I've had no heat spots with this shoe. No issues at all in terms of the fit. So on those other loops, we was dropping it down, as I said, to 8-minute miles, which is goal pace, target marathon pace for me. which is, you know, moving along. And the shoe felt amazing. It really did. I moved up and off I went. I could feel the plate, I could feel the propulsion from the different foams. It felt stable still, but I was able to control my pace at that 8-minute mile. And I also found myself dipping down to sort of 7:30 and 7:45 and having to rein it back because the shoe felt like it was asking me to run a little bit quicker, which is surprising given the fact that the shoe's 10.7 ounces in my UK 9.5. But the shoe was still, you know, egging me on and trying to make me run faster, which I think, you know, is a big positive for the shoe because, you know, a heavier shoe, you don't necessarily feel like sometimes that it's sort of egging you on to run that little bit quicker. But it took the paces with no issue. It took the paces with no problems. It was eating up those faster paces. And I felt great in the shoe at that sort of 8-minute mile. And I covered the 16 miles really nicely and I felt great. I didn't feel like ruined at the end of the run. And I think that's a big thing about these sort of higher stack super trainers, is that you want to feel a little bit fresher, you want to be able to go again the next day. And the idea with these bigger stacks and these more foams, you know, you should get some of that recovery a little bit quicker coming from running in these shoes. And I definitely felt that. I definitely felt that, people. And that's the thing with this shoe. I think, honestly, I'm not just saying this because I don't care, you know, I'm not getting paid by Saucony, right? But I honestly think if you're somebody who needs a stable ride but you want a plate, this is the shoe to buy, people. It really is. But maybe wait for it to come down a little bit in price because £200 is a lot of money. But I do think you're getting a very good shoe, right? You are getting a shoe, like I said, that will take you through your whole training, marathon training, and then into race day. I would quite comfortably run a marathon in this shoe. No problem at all. No issues at all. I'd run a reasonable lick along in a half marathon in this shoe. No problem at all. I've got that much confidence in this shoe to be able to run, I say, a full marathon in it and a quicker half marathon in it. I've got no issues with this shoe whatsoever in terms of, well, performance. Now look, there's obviously going to be questions about the durability of the outsole, right? And I'm just looking at it here. So far, so good. It's a little bit coming away here. You're not going to see that, but it's coming away here. So, you know, you're going to question the fact that it doesn't have that rubber elements like, like the Super Blast here, right? So that is going to be an issue, I would think, having the exposed EVA. I appreciate that, and especially on a £200 shoe. But again, I'm running this down in part some of those rivers where they are lumpy and bumpy, and it's going to get tore up. So I think that's a bit of an exception on it. But in general, it seems to be okay. So look, I think I've made my point clear on this. 16 miles today, mixed pace, quite a bit of it at goal pace, dropping even quicker than that down to my sort of lactate threshold pace. And sometimes this shoe felt great. It felt super stable under those sort of relaxed, easy paces as well. And I think this shoe can do it all. If you are a stability or a guidance, a runner that requires a little bit of guidance in your shoe, and you want a race day shoe with a plate in it, then look here. The Saucony Kinvara Pro is a real surprise to me. And it's not a stability shoe, it's not built as a stability shoe, but I think if you are somebody who needs a little bit of that, then this is definitely the shoe for you.